Hi everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another paper crafting video tutorial. Today we are going to be creating a 5x7 scene card using products from the Simon Says Stamp Sweet Wishes release, as well as lots of previously released products, just to kind of round out and complete this scene card. When I saw the stocking cat from the Sweet Wishes release, I knew I wanted to create a mantle filled with adorable stockings that have adorable little kitties inside. So to start, I also decided I needed a lot more real estate than what an A2 card was going to provide. We're going to take some grit paste from Tim Holtz, which, as I have mentioned many times here on my channel, is my absolute favorite because of the wonderful texture. And you can see that it might be called crypt, but it doesn't have to mean that it's for Halloween only. Now, because I'm doing a 5x7 background and I only have a 6x6 stencil and I want the entire thing to be this brick wall, I decided to go ahead and just kind of piece it together carefully. I tried to match it the best I could, but you'll notice I am doing kind of a grungy type of finish with my stencil pal, very imperfect, and that's going to help disguise any imperfections in the brick. Let's set that aside to completely dry while we die cut the components for our card, starting with this wonderful new cloche. The cloche is probably my top favorite thing from the release. It's a basic, in my opinion, perfect for creating a little glass domed cloche for any occasion or season. Also, I decided to use the smaller of the two for this card. If you would like to see an example of the larger one used, please check out my video linked at the end of this one. To fill this particular cloche, I decided to die cut the church from the SLIMLINE SNOWBANKS die, also a previous release from Simon Says Stamp, and we're going to build a cute little church with a tree inside this domed cloche. Now, I have cloches like this in my house, and this is how I decorate. So for me, I felt like I was kind of decorating on paper, if that makes sense. So I decided to die cut the church from black cardstock and gold, and we're going to inlay the gold for the doors and those window details. Then we're just going to add a single tree. If you wanted to, you could add more of those trees to the cloche, but I feel like there's a lot going on, so I did kind of keep it a little bit more simple. I love that you can seamlessly combine previously released products with the new products. That is, as always, my very favorite thing to do. Now, the holiday greenery, it holds a special place in my heart. I can't quit using it, you guys. I love it. It's probably my second favorite die of the release. So cloches and the holiday greenery. Now, I am going to tuck my cloche into the greenery. We are decorating a mantle. So I want to decorate the mantle with this little cloche, lots of greenery, and then we're hanging the kitties and the stockings from our mantle or our shelf. For our shelf, the wood plank is my go-to. It is this big, wide, beautiful die, and it's going to work landscape or portrait. And it's going to work whether you're doing a standard A2 or a 5x7. How amazing is that? So I am inking up this lighter brown cardstock that I die cut the shelf or mantle from with some Mocha Positively Saturated ink just to deepen and darken. Then we are going to take our background and we are going to pop our shelf in place with some foam adhesive. So let's go ahead and kind of dump our dies that I had sitting there to the side, and using the grid on my work surface, I'm going to kind of guess where I want this to go. The only thing I knew for sure was I need to leave plenty of space for the stockings to hang. I don't want them to hang off the bottom edge and have to be trimmed away, and I don't want it to be smack dab in the center. I don't want it to be in the center because I feel like that really divides it kind of funny. And so I want to divide it where it's just either a smidge higher than center or lower. In this case, I went lower. Then we're going to put foam adhesive on the back of our cloche with the greenery, and we're going to tuck that onto our shelf. I also want to maintain the greenery. I don't want to have to cut any of it off. Now, originally I thought I would tuck my sentiment right here to the right, but as you can see, I'm already second guessing that. I don't think that's going to work. I think it's a little too big, and I think there is a little bit of white space up above the cloche that is going to be the perfect spot for a sentiment. So we are going to shift that up. Let's go ahead and build our stocking cats, and I have 3 of them. I did choose to go with traditional reds and greens. I talk about this a lot as it comes to the holiday season. I am, for the most part, a very traditional red and green type of decorator. That is what the majority of my decorations are. And so I find myself gravitating towards those colors. Now, not always. This is card making after all. This isn't something that is decor for my home, so you can do whatever you like. You want to do bright modern turquoises and pinks, I think that would be amazing. Or maybe you want to go with all neutrals. I did briefly consider that. I think anything you want to do here would look so good. So I have die cut the cats a couple of times. There is a stocking cap that is made to fit on the cat's head. And I am going to put the stocking on 2 of the cats, but on this 3rd one here in the middle, I decided to leave it off just to kind of break up the design a little bit. And we are going to inlay a soft, barely peach color of cardstock in for the nose and the ears, and then the black layering piece that goes back behind the face is perfect for those eyes. Lots of great stitching detail for the whiskers, the mouth, as well as on the kitty cat paws. And it's made to look like the kitten is sticking down inside the stocking and peeking out. This is a card that my oldest son would absolutely love because he does have 2 kitties, his babies. And so kind of when I design things with cats, I often think of him and kind of what he would like. And this is definitely something he would like. I did create a little loop on my stocking with some of this Vivant gold twine from Spellbinders, and you'll notice I did a little loop and it just looks like it's hanging out there. Well, that's not the best look ever. Don't worry, when we get to the finishing details, we will kind of clean that up and give it a beautiful finished appearance. For my stockings, I am doing kind of a ivory color, a red, and a green. And I have 3 different colors of kittens. I kept it very simple today with black, white, and gray, but if you wanted to, you could die cut them from white cardstock and color them in to match your kitties however they are. This little black one does look like my grand kitty Sokka. His other kitty is an orange tabby, so Apollo, he also really looks like, his name is Apollo, but he looks like, wasn't it Morris? Wasn't that the name of the cat from the old, like, Fancy Feast commercials? I'm probably dating myself a lot here. I can't remember, but anyway, I almost thought about coloring one, but I really felt like if I colored one, I needed to color all of them, if that makes sense. And I had already cut and assembled several of these. So we went with black, white, and gray for our little kittens today. I love this little stocking cap, and you can consider tucking this on other critters as well if you wanted to. If you have some other dies where you could use this stocking cap, it would be great since it is kind of a separate piece than everything. You can also use the stockings just on their own. I think that the gift builder that we're going to use here at the end of the video, it was a last minute addition because we obviously have space on our mantle, and as I was contemplating what I wanted to use there, I remembered the gift builder die from Simon Says Stamp, and it is absolute perfect for this. But I think you could tuck the gift into a stocking. So think little candy canes, little gifts, all kinds of fun things that you could tuck inside. Maybe little gingerbread men if you have some dies from other companies. I'm specifically thinking, I know that like Lawn Fawn has some standalone dies that I think would work in here that are small enough. Have fun with it. To hold the little gold loop on the back of my stocking in place, I am using a foam adhesive square. The stockings are adhered to the card with foam adhesive, but the top of the cat, the head, is overlaying the mantle, which already is adhered with foam, so we don't need to add any foam there. And I'm going to pick off, or I'm adjusting the little hanger. And I really love that there's not tons of space down below. For this particular card, the sentiment, as you can see, I've moved it up. I fully committed at this point to placing it up high, but I think it almost becomes wall art, like you would put on your wall, those big wood words or whatever. That is what I am considering this time. Now that we have our kittens in place, I want to finish my floral arrangement. Obviously, we are tucking loads of florals in here. It adds lots of interest. All of the colors are exactly the same as my snowman cloche card. I really love this floral arrangement, and I think it shows the versatility that you can build, you know, that kind of scene with it, or you can also use it like this. I'm thinking it as a floral arrangement on a mantle, obviously. So we're just going to deck it out with all of these little florals. I love that some of them are layered, some are not. We will be embellishing them with some gemstones. Of course, I mean, we can't not embellish the flower centers with something sparkly, right? And then we are going to build a little present that we can then adhere sitting on the mantle, which I thought would be kind of a fun effect. And I do like how it fills in the space without being a focal point. It still keeps our floral arrangement and our kittens the focal point, but it does fill in our mantle perfectly. I did end up using a lot of the little florals. You can see that I glued the kind of ribbons onto my package. I know that it's not exactly the way it's meant to be used, but there are no rules in paper crafting, or any crafting for that matter. At least none that I can think of that are good. So I kind of made it my own. I made it look like it was wrapped up, and then I'm tucking a couple of the additional leftover little leaves, holly leaves that I had, into the bow on the package. And then I'm going to tuck that right here on the mantle, again, using some foam. And I like that little touch of greenery over there that adds interest. We're going to use some little spellbinders, couldn't think of it, red gems to embellish the center of that bow, almost like little holly berries. Now I know it's hard to see, but I did forget to tell you that the layering piece back behind the black cat's face is glossy black cardstock. That was what I was holding the card up to show you, because in real life, the gloss makes it so that the eyes show up on the face. I did inlay little pink noses on all of them, even though my grand kitty Sokka has a black nose, just because I like it, because the nose stands out a little bit. I did try other colors back behind the eyes, and I wasn't super happy with any of them, so I went with the thing that I knew I already liked. Now I'm using some smoky topaz little gems to make it look like little nails that we're using to nail our stockings onto this wood mantle. Now, would I normally do that? Not really, not in real life. I have stocking holders, but this is a card. We're making a paper scene. You can do whatever you want. Next, I did decide it's a little too plain. I'm sure you guys are not shocked. I am going to go in with a white jelly roll pen and add some stitching detail and dot detail and just a few little things, nothing crazy. So I added some stitching lines to the red stocking. I'm going to add some white dots to the cheeks on the black and the gray cat. And then obviously the white pin is not going to show up on the ivory stocking. So we're going to add the detail to the red cuff of the stocking on this one. And then on the green stocking, wanting to do something different on it that I am not doing, you know, I wanted them to all be different, I guess I should say. I decided to do like a little running stitch line all the way on this stocking, and I love it. I think this was the perfect little finishing touch for these stockings. It adds so much interest to these and really makes them stand out. Now, I forgot to tell you that when I added the Crypt Grit Paste to the cardstock color is called Dolphin, and it is by Lawn Fawn. It is my favorite. I love it with the Crypt Grit Paste. I really just love it for a lot of things. It's kind of a grayish taupe, and I really think it looks amazing. I thought it looked like a good grout color for those bricks. So I'm going to glue that to a white 5x7 card base. It is slightly smaller than 5x7, like an 1/8 of an inch smaller on one long side and one short side. So it's going to be a 1/16 of an inch smaller on each of the sides when we place it on our card base. I've stamped greetings from the new Simon Says Stamp Holiday Messages stamp set. This is a beautiful set, you guys, with coordinating die for the script words, and then I die cut the phrase using a sentiment label die. We're popping both of those up with foam adhesive right here at the top of our card, and our darling little scene card featuring brand new Sweet Wishes and previously released Simon Says Stamp products is all finished. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this Christmas card featuring lots of die cutting. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There is exclusive content, information, and behind-the-scenes content. Top-tier members will receive a handmade birthday card during your birthday month, access to D-Stash, and monthly exclusive lives, plus so much more. We would love to have you join our growing community. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, click that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to always be notified when I have a new video. Thanks for watching!